Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Still Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. Post market wrap up. I'm having a little problem with this picture here. I hope you guys and girls can hear me okay. I do apologize if it's not good. Let me know, somebody, 5 by 5. I'd appreciate it. Shannon, where are you? Anyway, guys, look, I want to start off with this. More propaganda. Imagine. Thank you, Joe. I don't know how many of you are seeing this. It's pretty much everywhere. This issue with Doge, okay, turns out to be much propaganda as well. Another government agency pushing garbage down your throat. Let me read this to you. So Doge says it saved 55 billion. Well, itemized data show far less. The federal cost-cutting effort, dubbed the Department of Government Efficiency, said it saved 55 billion in federal spending so far. But when this is broken down here, the website only accounts for actually 16.6 billion. It gets a lot worse than that. You remember the announcement that they found in one contract $8 billion alone of fraud and misallocated funds? Well, it turns out that it's actually only 8 million. 8 million. So here we have another government entity fist feeding us garbage, propaganda, and misinformation. How many of you really are surprised or shocked about this? I'm not. What else would you expect to see here? And let me tell you something else about, well, obviously, vastly reduced savings and cash that was apparently found. Well, Doge here is going to be giving you apparently a $5,000 check. Where does that cash come from? Let's see. We haven't clawed back a single dime, but Doge is going to give you a $5,000 check. I'm going to give you guys and girls one guess, and only one, as to who's going to provide that cash that has to be created poof out of nothing and added to a digital screen. Bingo! It's the Federal freaking Reserve. If this doesn't tell you how bad things actually are, another government agency, Doge, misinformation across the board, propaganda, look here, don't look over there. And now, without any clawbacks, they're going to send you a check for $5,000, courtesy of the Federal Reserve. How many of you actually know that every 100 days, don't take Greg Mannarino's word for what I'm about to say, the United States is adding over $1 trillion worth of debt. In no way, shape, or form would Doge even scratch the surface here. Do you have any idea, really? If you were looking for a saving grace with Doge, another propaganda ministry, okay, that this was going to save the world or the United States from exploding debts and deficits, I've been telling you this forever now. Well, maybe you're going to start to bring yourself up to speed. Doge is another propaganda machine. Here's the proof. It's everywhere. Look at this yourself. It's not just fortune. Or you probably won't see this on Fox because they're the truth. Make this stuff up, man. Make this stuff up. You can't. Every year we're adding over 3.5 trillion. That's going to accelerate moving forward. And again, this $5,000, not a dime has been clawed back. Again, we haven't even been told who's responsible, nor have there been any arrests. And they're not going to be. For those of you that are saying, well, Greg, you're not being patient enough. There's going to be some high-level arrests. No, there's not. Not even one. Okay? Another propaganda, government entity, scam being shoved down your throat. Yes, Doge is a scam. And we kind of all knew this from the beginning. What would you expect from a man who wears a Baphomet suit with an upside-down cross on his chest? He's going to tell you the truth? If you put your faith in that guy, I'm laughing right in your freaking face. I don't know another way to put it, people. You're out of your freaking mind. Anyway, look, with regard to economic news today, you think this is going to stop? U.S. housing starts plunge nearly 10% in January. Yes, this is not on Trump yet, but it will be soon. Let's see. Raising market concerns here. The latest data from the U.S. Census Bureau, like this is even real, And the Department of Housing and Urban Development reveals a sharp decline in housing starts. People are being wiped the freak out. And the people, look, man, vast debt expansion. How many of you actually believe we're going to be clawing back a dime? Is Doge, which has already been grossly, I mean, by more than tenfold what they've apparently found. Uh, Way more than that. What am I even talking about? One billion is 1,000 million. So Doge was saying that they found 8 billion, but it only is actually 8 million. They found this stuff, right? Oh, well, show us where they found this stuff. Where's the fraud? Where's the misallocation of funds? I believe it happened, but show us. Let's see some accountability. You think that's going to happen? You really think you're going to see a high level person in handcuffs? Honestly, you bought that one? Another government scam. Imagine our shock. I'm not shocked. Maybe you are. Maybe some of you are shocked. I'm done, Greg. So negative. Doom and gloom. Trump, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I think. Well, let's see. Trump is God syndrome. TIGS, TIGS, TIGS. You have Trump is God syndrome. TIGS. Imagine that, man. TIGS. I like that. I just made that up out of nothing. These people who are saying that we have TDS, well, they have TIGS. Trump is God syndrome. The brain dead. That's all I have to say. The brain dead. You guys and girls know I'm right. Charles, thank you. Doge. Yeah, Dodge. I'd like to, I love those old Dodges. I really, really do. 6-packs, Hemis, pistol grip 4-speeds, Dana rears. Sound about right to you? Anyway, it's amazing. You can show these people with TIGS. Trump is God syndrome, TIGS. Let's start using that. Trump is God syndrome, TIGS. It's a real thing. Like they think TDS is real. So is TIGS. You show them proof being reported everywhere. Oh, they don't see it. It's not right. Make it up, man. What a twisted freaking world we live in. A world of sheep and imbeciles. It's way worse than Trump worshiper syndrome. It's TIGS. Trump is God syndrome. TIGS. It's a real syndrome. It's a real thing. And I just made it up right out of my freaking head. TIGS. Tim, that's awesome. I love you guys. It goes, listen, man. Again, another propaganda, another government entity who is, let's see what they're going to do here. Lying about all this here to a magnitude that you can't even believe. They found 8 billion, but it's actually 8 million. They cut 55 billion. It looks like they only cut 16.6 billion. Ian, thank you. I know. And Aziz, thank you. It's garbage. It's propaganda, and they've been exposed already after just a couple of weeks here. It's an amazing thing, but I'm not surprised to find out that yet another government entity is scamming you. You're being scammed. And they're going to send you a check for $5,000. Again, we don't have that cash. We're broke. We're piling on over $1 trillion of debt every 100 days, or about $3.5 trillion a year, or more than that. And we're going to save the world with Doge, another scam. Imagine our shock here. Anybody with TIGS here? TIGS? Anybody with Trump is God syndrome? Hello? You out there? TIGS? TIGS, it's a real thing. People who have lost all touch with reality have TIGS. Understand? I love that. TIGS. Beautiful. Anyway, look, guys and girls, let's cover a few things here. With regard to economic news like this, it's not going to stop. And that means a few things. It's what they're looking to do is obviously say this is a reason why we have to have the Fed cut rates. Elizabeth Warren, President Trump, more currency devaluation and currency creation. You have to understand how the mechanism works. When currency is devalued, like a $5,000 check, we don't have that cash. It's got to come from the Federal Reserve. That $5,000 check magnified by, I guess, every taxpayer here, I guess depends on your income, of course, will cause obviously what? currency purchasing power losses. So what happens is they got to create more cash to make up the difference. You understand? That's why we're seeing global debt surge at the pace that it is, and people can't freaking survive. You understand? Even those of you out here with TIGS, Trump is God syndrome. That's the coolest thing, TIGS. Anyway, guys, look, man, where to start? We really need to start taking more action than we ever have. We got what's going to happen here is you're going to see an economy contract much faster here in the United States. Let's forget tariffs. Let's just put tariffs out there. Let's forget that tariffs even exist. What we're going to get is much, much faster currency purchasing power losses. And as you all know, a wrecking machine right through the middle class, a wrecking machine right through the economy. But the people with TIGS can't see that. They think it's good. Can't make it up. Can't. It's impossible to do. Right, Lava? Lava's here. We love Lava. We all love you. I love you. We all love you. We love everybody, right? We love everybody. Even those people with TIGS. Unfortunately, you're right, Jonathan. Look, man, we're being systematically erased and we're being lied to again. Another propaganda ministry with nothing but lies, distractions, and deceptions. Imagine our surprise. Again, what would you expect from a guy who wore a Baphomet suit with an upside down cross on it and used that as his Twitter picture for over a freaking year? That's the guy I want to put my trust in. How about you? Jonathan, thank you. It's incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible what's going on here. It's too much. And it was just a costume. I know it's just a costume, right? I wear costumes like that too. It's just a costume, right? We all put on that costume. Every one of us is it's a costume. People reveal themselves to you in many different ways. And Elon Musk, a Satanist of the highest possible order, right now has his hands on the throat of many, many people here. You understand? It's pretty incredible what we're witnessing. It's incredible, really. I don't even know what to say, but again, there are people with TIGS who believe that this is the right thing to do, and they're going to pay for it as well in the form of a much higher cost of living. There's no escaping this. You have to understand, zero. So that means you and I have to take, I think, drastic measures here. That means, again, protecting yourself from all angles. Whatever you can possibly do to come up with Ronix, I appreciate that. Dr. Doom and Gloom, a poor man TDS. Yeah, you don't have TIGS, do you? And I don't think he has TIGS. Does Ronix 446 have TIGS? Trump is God syndrome? Thanks for the $2. But, you can't make this stuff up. Again, you can show them proof. All the numbers are lies. The Doge numbers are lies. They still believe the other stuff here. I can't believe this. You can't imagine this. Greg sounded like Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Is that what she sounds like? I don't like that woman. I think she's totally deranged. And the fact that she's on the same page as Trump with rate cuts, that should tell you something. Right, Jonathan? We're on the same page. Anyway, look, guys and girls. So we need to realize that we're going to see vast currency devaluation, vast debt expansion, not just here. Again, wherever you live in the world, I want you to understand look, for those of you, where's Coco? Coco is eating, I believe, right now, and then he's going out for a walk. For those of you that have been with me since the end of last year, that was my number one theme, and I'm telling you what I see right now. And I'm going to let you guys into it. I'm going to tell you a secret. But you got to promise, you really, 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 really got to promise not to tell a single soul. Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm your number one fan too. The setup here, and everyone knows it. All the major banks, they all know. There was a new executive order signed today by President Trump to accelerate the speed at which banks and corporations, not just banks, are going to be deregulated. If you don't believe me, I don't have a printout of this. Please let your fingers do the walking. This was signed today. What's being set up here, again, look, is very, very simple. And most of you believe, like I do, that the mass deregulation of the banks is not going to help we the people. It's going to help the 1 and 2%ers, the banks themselves. See, the banks, again, the system itself, if we all know, is completely insolvent. Okay. Operates in a perpetual vacuum. But we're getting those $5,000 stimmy checks from Doge. Where are they getting that cash from? We don't have it. Is President Trump going to lay that out? If he does, that would be pretty cool. Then I will get TIGS myself. If President Trump out of his own pocket were to send every taxpayer $5,000, he can afford to do it. I would convert to TIGSism. Is TIGSism real? Trump is God syndrome-ism. I think that would be a real thing. Jonathan, thank you. Dude, the price of gold and silver, I've been quite in a run as of late. We don't mention Kamala's name, please. I can't stand the name, even thinking about Kamala. I want to vomit, or Bidenstein, or any of those other creatures. I can't hear that, but that's okay. That's okay. But anyway, gold and silver, look, man, this is our hedge here. If we realize the global debt market is a time bomb, it's going off right now. And we're seeing this in the form of inflation, not just here, but around the world, as world leaders work with their respective central bank to allow them to inflate. The debt market is a nightmare. The bubble here is going to burst at a time of their choosing, not ours. But you and I, we're watching the debt market, and I promise to have the MMRI up soon. And I'm working on a way again to make this even better than it ever was before. It will be up soon. Just give me a little time on that. Understanding the mechanism, people, the cash moves through the markets in more or less predictable patterns. If we see what we're witnessing now with regard to artificially suppressed rates, what does that do? It opens up a doorway, as you all know, for cash to make its way into the stock market. What's going to happen when that door closes? The implosion of the debt market will close that door. Massive sell-off in the debt market. Massive sell-off in the stock market. Cash is just going to move. It's going to move from one reality into another. Again, cash doesn't grow little money wings and fly away into money heaven. It doesn't do that, or cash heaven. It's going to move. It's going to move into another reality, and it will go into suppressed assets. Because think about this. In order to keep the mechanism going, cash has to be pulled from places it should be going into. Again, the price action suppression here of commodities overall, none more so than gold and silver, obviously, by JP Morgan. I mean, when is Doge, the fraud known as Doge? This is fraud. Fraud on the American people, because these numbers are all fake. They're all fake. 8 billion was 8 million. 55 billion was actually 16.5 billion. Okay. Do your own research on this. Don't take Greg's word for nothing. You understand? But the mechanism here, again, cash is going to rush into suppressed assets on a grand scale, like you're not going to believe. And I still say this. I know a lot of you hate when I say this. I still believe we're going to see a massive move of cash into cryptocurrencies as well. The bridge to the new system is still in full swing, and that's a lot to do with this deregulation, executive order, deregulate banks. It's all about the banks. Is it about you? No, it's not about you. You're being regulated. You are being regulated. You're going to be forced to live in an environment where your standard of living is going to evaporate. I don't care how rich you are. Things are going to change for you. And if you're a member of the middle class, as I've been telling you for over 10 years, on your face, you have a tattoo of a target. You're being targeted. You're being eliminated. Period. The end. In favor of the corporate agenda, the banks. That's what's happening here. Are we on the same page? I'd be willing to bet that we pretty much are on the same page here. So look, man, the bottom line is this. We always have to have the high ground. You know that. I've been telling you the same thing for over 10 years. What I want you to do, and I mean this, don't just let this go in one ear and out the other or over your head. I want you guys to think about what it means for you. Think about the way how things are right now. Your job security. Okay, I believe that we are going to start to see maybe within like 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, you're going to start to see a lot more layoffs, not just on a federal level. Okay, you're going to see layoffs in the private sector. The global economy is continuing to shrink. The global economy is continuing to slow. At the same time, global debt is ballooning. This is a recipe for disaster on an epic scale. So think about what it means. What would it mean for you if you lost your job, if your company starts cutting back, if your company starts to replace people, let's say with AI? This is coming across the board. And look this stuff for yourself. There's legislation right now. Right now, there's legislation to allow AI to diagnose and prescribe medications. Again, poof, there goes your nurse. Poof, there goes your doctor. We are in a cycle here where we're being dehumanized, and there's going to be less of a need for human interaction. You understand? And that means you lose here. Do you want to live in a dystopian society like that? Because that's where we're going. On top of, again, think about what this means for you, because this is where we're going. Understand? People don't know what's happening, because again, when you have another government agency here scamming you and telling you to look here, don't look over there, not pointing a finger at anyone who's caused this, the misallocation of funds, which I'm sure has actually happened, or outright fraud here. We're not clawing any of it back yet. They haven't even told us who's done it. No one at a high level. I want to see some high level people in freaking cuffs. Okay, then I will get TIGS. Trump is God syndrome. Okay, let's start utilizing that. When someone throws TDS at you, realize that they have TIGS. I love that. TIGS. Greg is a funny guy. He's a funny guy in many ways. So anyway, like I said, think about what this means for you guys and girls here. It's coming apart. It's coming apart faster. Unfortunately, the bad economic news, again, let me just say this one more time, can potentially push the stock market higher. There's no connection to the stock market and the economy. I was talking with George Gammon today. We did an interview today. It's going to be great. It'll be out tomorrow, I think. Well, he also understands there's no connection between the stock market, which is used as an illusion, hanging in front of your face, and the economy. The more easy money that's pumped in here, that's all that matters to the market. It can go higher. Now, the call here, again, Elizabeth Warren, Donald Trump, for the Fed to lower rates immediately, which may not happen immediately. You know, the Fed's got to say, oh, hold back. Of course, they want to lower rates. Every central bank wants to lower rates. Why? It allows them to inflate. What's the goal of every central bank? To be the lenders and buyers of last resort. Does that sound familiar? I've only been telling you that for over a decade, but that's exactly what these central banks have become. They are the number one issuers of debt through one door, that is, they issue currency and they buy the debt back through another door and keep the government running. We would not be able to fund this, or the $1 trillion debts that we're running every 100 days, if it weren't for that. We're in technical default right now. The Fed and central banks are propping up the system by flooding it with debt, and who loses? You do. We got to get rid of these institutions. You all know that. But let's deregulate the banks again today by executive order. Let's write an executive order to replace paper straws with plastic ones. That really happened too. Really important, isn't it? But for those people with TIGS, they see how important that was. That executive order had to be written because Trump did it, and Trump is God, right? Yeah, don't should audit itself. Do you know how much cash Elon Musk, the Satanist, took from the government, took from you? His companies? Maybe you should look that up. Maybe he needs to be audited. What do you think? Maybe? No. Come on, Greg. Where's the proof? The headlines are correct. Duh. Maybe you should look up for yourself. You believe all this stuff is true. The Satanist The freaking guy with the upside down cross on his chest, he's telling you the truth. You know it is. What you want? Isn't there a particular book? Yeah, I think there is a book that kind of outlines what you're supposed to be looking for here. Apparently, with regard to there was an audit done. This federal cost-cutting effort here, this $55 billion actually showed that this data was fake by an audit that was done. It only turned out to be 16.6 billion. And again, this $8 billion that they found in one contract was already corrected to 8 million. But did you know about that? Did Elon tell you that? No, he wants to leave you with the $8 billion number in your head. They're not going to tell you that. They want you to find out. You understand? The truth is always hidden in plain sight. Exactly, Tim. That's the book I'm talking about. I think we're all on the same page with this. Oh, anyway. Guys, before we get out of here, anything you want to talk about? Is this pretty obvious what I'm saying here to you? I want you to think about you, what you need to do for what's about to come here. And how this is going to affect you, your way of life, how it's going to affect your way that you're supporting your family, your children, because we are going to see a slowdown in the world economy, global, and United States is included in that. You're not going to believe moving forward. And on the back of this is, again, currency purchasing power losses. Understand? I think we're pretty much on the same page. And you're right, Stephen. Nobody loses all the time. It's the truth. There are some that are going to benefit so greatly. People like Musk, all those kind of people, they're going to benefit greatly, and they're benefiting massively from this entire thing. But you and me and the regular guy walking along the street, we pay for it all. We fund it all. Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible. It really is, man. Anyway, look, man. I love that. Testicles, the war machine. I love some of the names you guys and girls come up with. You're so amazing. Oh, anyway, that's this kind of it. Yeah, absolutely. Land grabs are coming, William. You see what they're talking about with regard to resources? Does this sound familiar to you, Jonathan? Thank you. I wish, look, man, Trump would never hire me because I'm a truth person. I will expose it all. All right, there's no doubt about it. I can't be bought for any amount of money. All right, my gift is life forever. My life isn't in the form of material things. You understand? Once you realize that what you're living in nothing but a temporary environment, everything else will become clear to you, all people. You understand? Where is XRP going? Okay, that's a good question. I believe that cryptocurrencies, including, I bought XRP twice, and I told all of you about this. I added to my positions in Bitcoin and XRP twice over the past several months. And I sincerely believe this, people. Look, man, it's just understanding the flow of cash. Dr. Rizwan, you are my mentor. Look, man, I have one mentor, and that is my connection with the Almighty. I don't know another way to put this to you, anybody anymore. Realize that you need to reconnect with the source, and the source isn't out there. The kingdom of God is within you. You remember hearing that anywhere? Maybe in a particular book? People, it's all out there. You gotta just understand what you're being told, and how it really works. Once you reconnect with that and realize God isn't out there, God is right here, everywhere, in everything, in you. The kingdom of God is in you. That's where all the truth comes from. And there are people with TIGs who don't see it that way. Again, a misallocation of faith never turns out to be good. And I feel bad for these people. I really, really do. Because they're going to pay for this more than anybody else. They always do, if history has taught us anything. Jonathan, you're not fake, man. And I appreciate you all so much. I really do, guys and girls. All right, look. Let me see. Which one can you apply the same with others as equity? Look, I don't really understand that question. I think it's pretty obvious what we need to do, people. If we don't do something, you're still doing something. I want you to think about what I just said. If you sit back and do nothing, and I know that's not any of you that follow this blog, you've taken an action and you're sitting there letting the system destroy you. You must take positive action here. And again, I believe, at least from a financial, this goes way beyond the financial, people. This isn't just about, this channel here isn't just a financial channel. I think this transcends a lot of things, what we've done here. And it's too simple, I think, really fundamentally to understand what we need to do and how we need to position ourselves. You can't be in the dollar. You can't be in any central bank issued note. You can't. Does that make sense to you? Central bank issued notes around the world are being systematically destroyed. It can't be argued. I can't imagine anybody can present an argument against that. So if we know that, what do you want to do about it? You're going to sit in a cash position? I hate that. I think it's the worst place to be, and you all know that. People that are savers right now, I'm a saver, I'm a saver. You're being robbed blind via the mechanism of inflation, even by their own numbers. And their own numbers are total propaganda, just like Doge, all propaganda as well. So propaganda. Any government agency, they're never on your side. Do you think this would be a miracle of the miracles? Okay, that if for the first time in human history, a government entity is on your side. Do you think that that is really what's happening here now that these numbers have been exposed by themselves? The correction from 8 billion to 8 million and the audit on this 55 billion to 16. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't make it up. Make this stuff up. You can't. There is never going to be a government entity that's on your side. Do you know what the job of government is? How many of you think you know? I know what the job of government is to protect me. No, a government's job is to survive, to protect itself. That's the job of government. Yeah. Wow, big one there, right, Terry? Thank you. I appreciate you so much, bravo. Joe Potter, welcome to the Grand Illusion. Yes, I will keep my day job. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? I think we're kind of at the end here. We've gone on for 32 minutes. Look, man, I want to just thank you guys and girls for being here. Honestly, things are changing, not for the better here. Not for the better here. And I think if we've exposed anything, we realize again that another government agency, Doge, is a scam on the people. Again, where they're getting that $5,000 check from? Where's the cash come from? Doge has not clawed back the single penny. Oh, wait a minute. We can't even afford to make a penny anymore because that's how screwed up we are via inflation. But Trump didn't tell you that, did he? No, he can't. Jonathan, thank you. Yeah, the guy just dropped drinking fluoride water. I'll give you that one too. But so if Doge hasn't clawed back a penny, and Doge is gonna give you a $5,000 check, it's got to come from the Federal Reserve, right, Dr. Wisman? Thank you. No, man, you got emerald tablets. I got nothing, man. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy talking. I'm just a guy talking. Anyway, guys and girls, if I have earned you a thumbs up, and I expect to lose a lot of people here because I'm calling Doge a fraud. I am calling Doge a fraud. Another government agency who is scamming you with astronomical numbers when then you really look at the numbers, they're not real. Oh, you mean it's fake like everything else? Yeah, it is. Again, how many of you believe that was actually a costume that he was wearing? Or was he revealing himself to you? He revealed himself to me. I think he revealed himself to you too. Even those with TIGS, Trump is God syndrome, TIGS, yeah, they know it too, but they can't admit it because their faith is in the wrong place. This guy loves you, and I mean that. If no one told you today that they love you, This guy has, and I mean that. Jonathan, thank you, bro. Like I said, you're not fake. You're not fake. We're not fake. Anyway, guys and girls, I'm gonna let you all go. We are gonna resume the festivities tomorrow. Please do me a favor, if you would, comment. Let's look for the people who have TIGS to respond, and then when they write that you have TDS or I have it, tell them that, well, you got TIGS. They won't even know what it is because we just invented it. It's a new thing that we invented right here on the Greg Mannarino Freak Show. I'll see you guys and girls in the morning. All right, people. Until we meet again, what am I going to tell you? What am I going to tell you? Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Okay, this is too important. See you in the morning.